Watching horror movies or those that tell the stories of wars, one part which always gets to me is the ripping of a body part off a person. It's shuddering to think of the pain that comes with that. Doubt me? Try to imagine having your arm or leg ripped off your body. Have you ever gotten yourself injured and bled so much it hurts? For a majority this happens when they were children and had not a single care in the world, and so would be found doing all that appealed to them, including climbing trees and jumping on and off cupboards. It was all an adventure until the accident happens, a fall, the slam of a door, etc. The sound of a scream or tears was the usual accompanying music. The next thing was finding yourself at a hospital or pharmacy and the wound was treated. If you thought the actual wound hurt, the treatment was 10 times more. Afterwards, though, the healing began. In life, in the Christian life especially, when God starts to yank off bits and pieces from our lives, it hurts. It will hurt, but it will pay off. It comes in the forms of relationships, friendships, and even habits some would seem harmless too. But when God says it's got to go, my dear, it's got to go one way or another. This is usually called a waiting period, where God takes and molds you, making you more into the person He wants you to be. It happens both by the removal of certain things or people from your life, as well as the introduction of the same. It will seem like everyone else has it going fine but you. You may feel like everyone is moving forward, yet you seem stuck in one place. Nothing just seems to be happening for you. And on top of all that, you are losing cherished things and relationships with no sensible explanation. When you are in such a place, the last thing you would want to hear is that God has a plan for it. The emotions would be so raw and blinding that it may not be the first thing your mind focuses on, true as it actually is. The undeniable truth, because it is way more than a fact, is that it will hurt, but it will pay off in the long run, and you need to keep that in view as you go through the process God is taking you through. To fully explain this, let us look, for a while, at the story of God as the gardener. I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit He prunes so that it will be even more fruitful. John 15 verses 1-2 NIV. I would like to blame the next bit on my love for animations or something. However, it is easy to personify inanimate objects, such as a tree, in this case. The image in my head for a tree having its parts chopped off is as of a human having a body part amputated. It hurts. All the while bits of the tree are chopped or snipped off, it screams it hurts. But does pruning make it better or not? Definitely better than it was. Wayward bits are trimmed off. Sick parts are tended to or cut off, and the end result is an, overall, healthier and more beautiful outlook. In the same vein, take it as God pruning you for Himself, as Him cutting off all the toxicity and building godly character in you as well. When the hurt comes and you do not understand, hold on to the one who does. The one who understands the times and seasons. The one who absolutely loves you. Stand on His words and promises. Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him, I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. Psalms 91 verses 14-15 NIV. His redemption and protection has been promised you. All you have to do is remember to keep loving. Choose to love and keep faith alive even when there is no end in sight. The feelings of weariness and exhaustion are some of the ones to end with in times of hurt and rejection. It does not seem to make sense. You would want to give up the hurt and just go back into doing things the way they always were, whether you were satisfied and happy or not. In such moments, it helps to remember that God does not work amiss. He says in Jeremiah, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Jeremiah 29 verse 11 NIV. It's a knowledge to hold fast onto when trying times come. It could come in challenging jobs and relationships, or even a loss of your job completely. It could be in difficult changes of circumstances or people around you. It could be as a result of natural beginnings and endings, even though nothing would seem natural to you at that moment. The emotions at those times are often unexpected and overwhelming. It isn't uncommon to hear people say you would not truly understand a thing until you find yourself placed in that exact situation. Changes, breakups between friends and lovers, job losses, especially when there's a stack of bills staring you in the face, all of these things and more will hurt. It is always better though to try and see through the hurt and ask for help to understand the lesson for you in the moment. You think all that happens to you in life is a coincidence? It's all part of a divine plan. One God has had even before you were born. He knew you while you were still yet to be formed in your mother's womb. He made you, called you beautifully and wonderfully made. Says He has a plan for you. A good one to give you hope in a future. And you worry about your present situation? Well, it will hurt, but it will pay off. It's God working behind the scenes, and no one does it any better than He does. When the Lord takes you through the storm or through the fire, remind yourself that it is like the refining of gold. In its raw state, it looks dirty and a sore sight. After going through stages of going through the fire, it is transformed into what we see and admire. While going through the melting process in the fire though, I assume it would be screaming out in pain, but its joy at the end of the day is like that of a new mother seeing the face of her child and forgetting the weight of the pain beforehand. Therefore, when God is taking you through the fire, though it will hurt, it will pay off.